Alright everyone, YouTube family, I am back. I want you to enjoy this background gameplay. This background gameplay is one of the very few dominant, as I air quote that, performances I've had with my center, my actual center build in 2K. We still lose the game. I do dashboard at the end of the game, and it's because of one particular reason that I'll discuss over today. But today's topic, today's video is a wish list. I made a rant a few days ago, maybe a week or so ago, about 2K, why 2K21 Next Gen sucks, right? And now it's time to make the wish list. The idea came from a guy or sub, I don't know if he's a sub or just a viewer, who said make a wish list. I made why this game sucks to the community. So now it's time to make a wish list. I have 14 things on my list to go over. So this video may be a little bit long. Back out now if you want to, or back out when the video reaches the point where you just don't agree. But if you stay to the end and you watch the whole thing, please comment. Discussion box is open. But let's get right into it. The first thing I want to talk about for 2K22 is to revamp the dribbling. Now, dribbling is one of those things in 2K that the people who dribble love it, while the people who don't dribble or cannot do the dribbling moves as much as the others don't like it that much. Now, what I mean by revamp dribbling is that every year in 2K, there's always a move that is unstoppable. This year is the Curry slide. A few years ago it was the behind the back. Another time it was it was the snatch back. You know, you have crossovers that freeze people. You have all these different dribbling mechanics that are broken. Just broken. Come to 2K22 to revamp that, I would say explore the idea of making dribbling cap at the best dribbler at that position. Now let me explain. For instance, I think the majority of the world would say Kyrie Irving has the best handle in the league, or ever. Kyrie Irving has plays point guard, right? So maybe point guards should only be allowed to have Kyrie Irving's dribble. And well, I guess a better way to explain it would be, instead of having creative dribbles and, you know, normal 8, normal 7, pro, elite, whatever, how about you just make dribble packages? You make dribble packages based off of height, weight, you know, the stuff that y'all do when y'all cap it regularly. So for instance, to have Kyrie's dribbling package, you gotta be, you know, 6'3", and, you know, freaking 6'3", however much he weighs, and have that high handle. Same for Steph Curry, you know, 6'3". Now you shouldn't be 6'6" dribbling like Kyrie. Why? Because we haven't seen a 6'6" player dribble like Kyrie. Most likely because they're not as low, they can't get as crafty as Kyrie. So that's why I think if you're 6'3", you should be able to unlock Kyrie dribbles. Same thing for 6'4", 6'5", because there's been point guards that played at those heights. 6'5", you know, 6'4", you'll get somebody like Jason Kidd package. 6'3" would be the meta quote unquote package, because it's a lot of point guards that's 6'3". Steve Nash, Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, just to name off a few, right? And then 6'4", you got Jason Kidds and John Walls and things like that. 6'5" and 6'6", and so on and so forth, right? Same thing for shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, and centers. You dribble package them depending on their height and their weight and stuff like that, and boom, now you have some sense of, you know, regularity into dribbling. Point number 2, defense. For some reason, I don't know if it's because it's a video game, quote unquote, or y'all didn't do it right in 2K19 when the community begged for defense and then you make defense overpowered. But there's just certain things in the game that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Defenders should have the same amount of advantages as an offensive player does, whatever the right term is. If me as a defender know where you're going, there's no reason why you can still animate to get to where you're going. It needs to be a counter for every move in 2K. Every offensive move they can do, you should be able to counter it. A hop step, a floater, a crossover, a behind the back, a hesitation. You should be able to counter that if you know what they're coming, because the whole key to defense is just assuming where your opponent's going. 9 out of 10 opponents in 2K, when they catch it in the corner, is trying to go baseline. No matter how much they dribble, no matter what they do, no matter how many crossovers and fakes they doing, they're trying to get to the baseline. There's no reason why I as a defender know that and they still get there. You see what I'm saying? I remember one year they did a little shading tutorial when you was able to shade people back and forth. But I just feel like they need to boost defense to an extent, or to a place where you have to be very, very careful about certain builds, certain defensive, and then start rewarding the defense. Start rewarding the defense. I guess this is me being biased because I'm a, big man. Big men should always dominate smaller players. Always. I know we in this meta now where 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" power forwards, are reigning supreme in the community now. But if we look over the course of the history of the league, outside the Warriors years, I would say, outside the Warriors years, somebody, a 6'9", 6'7", 6'8" guy is not going to dominate a big guy. Now, like I said, we've seen it with Draymond dominating, Porzingis and Blake Griffin. He dominates those type of players. But then you have people like Anthony Davis, who always gives him 40. Giannis, you know what I'm saying? Like, they punish him because he's too little, technically. And the example I'll use when it comes to big men is Joel Embiid, Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets like to run this lineup that involves KD or Jeff Green at the 5, or somebody else who's not 7'1". And Joel Embiid is 7'1", 280. It's a big man. Big bang, okay? In 2K, there's no reason why somebody of that stature should not dominate the paint. He just should. Now, I understand we're getting away from paint game. We're getting away from paintball, Everyone's kind of becoming, outside oriented. But there's still some few centers out there who like to play the game the way that, they used to play. So can you just accommodate them? Because y'all penalize big men this year real bad. Partially because people don't, make them overpowered. But make builds matter. Make builds matter going into 2K22. Next, number 4 is a very easy one. It's called limit contact dunks, man. Limit contact dunks. There's no reason why people are contact dunked on all the time in 2K. There's no reason for it. There's no reason why every time you help defense, you're on the ground, in an animation, dead, being screenshotted, being screen recorded, being on somebody's TikTok clip, Twitter clip, wherever. You're just everywhere else instead of blocking that ball, which is where it ties into the first one as far as big men dominating the painted areas. There's no reason why 7'1" rim protector and primary is getting body bagged by 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". The league don't even contact dunk like that anymore. The league, smaller players aren't contact dunking. You don't have people like John Wall body bagging people every drive. Yes, there are contact dunks that come from point guards. Yes, people do get dunked on in real life. But how often do you see, if you watch an NBA game, how many times do you see somebody just contact body bag? Can we do something about that? That's all I'm asking. Can we do something about that? And speaking of dunks, our number 5 point of the wish list is leave park dunks in that mode. Park. Nobody is in the NBA is on a fast break doing a behind the back lob dunk to themselves, the Red Dragon dunk. Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. Some of these cockback dunks, some of these 360 dunks that y'all got in this game, ain't nobody doing that in the game now. Especially not in traffic. That's y'all issue. Y'all let people do these things in traffic. No blocking, no nothing. Just traffic contact dunks. Fix that. Now number 6 is now reverting and going to my Pro-Am guys. I ain't leave y'all out either. In Pro-Am, probably one of the most useful or useless game modes ever created because, well, y'all give us no incentive on playing it. At least, if y'all gonna make Pro-Am a prominent thing of 2K, can the commissioner, or not commissioner, what's the right term? The owner of the team, the creator of the team, can he make playbooks for his team? Think about it. if you have a play style that you want to play with as a team, can you allow them to go and get their own playbooks or snatch plays from other playbooks to put into their own playbook, kind of like Madden does when you make a custom playbook, and continue from there? Is that possible? Number 7 ties into that as well when it says make Pro-Am useful. It's useless. What? Think about it. I had to learn this the hard way. Because I was playing one time. I'll never forget it. I was playing 2K, and the dude that we was playing rec with was like, why would I play Pro-Am? Pro-Am is hard. So instead, he just comes into the rec and plays regular people, which is very true. It's a very true thing. But making Pro-Am 3v3 is not. I see what y'all was trying to do there when you tried to make it more useful. But in order for Pro-Am to really be what you want it to be, it's going to have to lead into our number 8 topic, which is you have to limit the party, limit the people who can join a party for rec. See what I'm saying here? If not, rec is a 5-on-5 thing, right? I'll say for instance, you limit that and you only allow 3 people to party up and play the rec. Like that's the max you can do, 3 people. Positions don't matter or whatever, but 3 people. So that way, y'all either we know as people walking in, because sometimes you don't always have 5 to play Pro-Am with or rec with. So you don't have 5 to play Pro-Am, so you go into rec, right? With your 2 or your 3 or your 1, whatever. And you going up against teams of 5 that all know each other because there's no reason to play Pro-Am. There's no incentive to play in Pro-Am. So we're just going to take our 5, come out into the rec, play zone, communicate, help defense, switch, all while we, or people like me, are, out here with AI players, random, or just two other friends, maybe sometimes 1 other friend. I'm just saying, if y'all limited the amount of party people that can come into the rec, more people would flock towards Pro-Am and your other modes, because now rec wouldn't be ruined. But for the people who want to think that they about to just sit all year and be the rec squad of the year, no, go take your behind in Pro-Am and become a Pro-Am team and try to reach the leaderboard on that. Don't try to beat up on those people in the rec because you garbage. So 2K, please, can we make rec a little more limit rec and make Pro-Am a little more useful? Right? Yeah, true. Okay. Number 9 is you have I noticed in 2K that you have this system. It's called let me see here, a shot timing system. Yes, greens mean cash, money, and slightly late mean you held it a little bit too long. Slightly early mean you held it a little bit too early. My issue is there a reason that for some reason an individual who is shooting the ball can shoot the ball 8 to 9 times in a row with no greens and somehow still go 9 of 9, 8 of 9, 7 of 9? Like, he's not even getting his shot right. And you're still rewarding him, letting him shoot the shot. Let him make the shot. It baffles me. Can we reduce the amount of whites that go in? I know shooting's a very hard thing for y'all to handle, because when you have shooting right, and every year you do this, shooting is perfect to start the year. But you have the garbage people who can't shoot complaining that it's too hard to make a shot. Complaining that whites don't go in, so you boost whites? How about telling them to change their jumper and find a jumper that actually works for them instead of using the jumper that 2K Lab or their favorite YouTuber tells them to use? Everybody's not the same. We're not robots here. Everybody's different. Everybody has their timing, their look. How about you bring more of that into the community instead of just helping them out by babying them and letting them make whites because they're shooting and they don't know how to shoot that well. Please, can we do something about that? Number 10 reason is a very simple one here: fatigue is another one of those topics that y'all tend to gloss over or something. I don't know what you call it. I know FIFA does a real good job with it. Madden does a good job with it. 2K, y'all only penalize people for sprinting all game. Have you ever played real life basketball? I'm curious, because even in real life basketball, you don't have to sprint every possession. But as that game goes on, you are not as fresh in the 4th quarter than you was at tip-off. Your legs get a little bit tired. And I'm talking to my shooters out there. I see you're basing this off of NBA players, but even NBA players, you can see that in the NBA people still get tired. And the one thing that you're basing it off of is the fact that NBA players seem to not get tired. Well, if you think about it, NBA players also take rest. The only rest that you get inside the rec or the pro-am is halftime. But for some reason, somebody can dribble guard you in the first quarter, dribble guard you in the second quarter, dribble guard you in the third quarter, and in the fourth, guess what? He's still dribble guarding you. Why? Because you got the nerve to have fatigue in the game, but then have a badge that eliminates the fatigue and expect nobody to use it. Why even put it in the game in the first place then? If that's not the case, you know, but whatever, y'all would do it. Y'all fix it. I have faith in you. Another thing, your AIs. AI, the definition of AI. When some people hear AI, they think Allen Iverson. Y'all don't mean Allen Iverson when y'all say AI in 2K. You mean artificial intelligence. You know what the issue with that is? Is the intelligent part is removed and they're just artificial. You see, AIs is this new thing that I seen that y'all did this year, especially in next gen. I don't know about Xbox One. Now I know in next gen you do this thing now where you just put AIs on people's team. You know, people just, you put AIs on people's team because I guess you're struggling to find randoms to play. So because you're doing that, they used to be 60s, and you think you're fooling somebody. They used to be 60s, and now you just put them to 85. They put them to 85. They're 85 now. They're 85 AI. They're great. They still don't guard anything. Every time they shoot the ball, it's late, early, very late, or very early. Very rarely green. They prohibit you from beating those teams of 5 who are in the rec because they suck. Because they just sag off the AI. They sag off the AI. Right? AI doesn't make any shots. Meanwhile, on the other end of the floor, they continually shoot from the same spot. They don't dribble, they don't do anything, and the AI just watches them shoot. If you're going to incorporate AIs into the game, how about utilizing the AIs? You ever thought of that? You ever thought of utilizing the AIs? I get, but I guess you don't want to do that because you don't want people to be exposed for being garbage. Because if you have an AI that's actually useful in a game, when you're undermanned, you'll beat a lot of teams of 5 that you're playing because they're not good. That's why they in a wreck in the first place. Can we do something about that, please? I would love to walk into the wreck with my 2 other friends, 3 of us total, get some AIs and run a streak with them, because since you can't find nobody to join us, make the AI useful, and that way we can sit out here and beat teams of 5 because we got an AI who's an 85 that can shoot when he's open, that can play defense. It'll make people respect the AI, and it'll make offense for us just a tad bit easier. Whatever. I'm asking you these questions. These are my wish list. This is my wish list. It's not like this is gonna ever come true because, one, I'm not a big YouTuber, so people ain't gonna watch this and get it out. And the other thing is just that, whatever. The number 12 reason is a test to my fellow big men out there. I got you again. It's this thing in your game called a rebound. Can you, by chance, allow us as the rebounder to not get ripped? You see here, let me explain to you here. Let me get a little bit closer to the mic, more in depth. Here we go. When I get a rebound as a center or power forward, why do you allow the salty individual because he just got guarded at the rim or because he just missed to rip me when I get the rebound? If you ever been taught basketball by a professional or any type of coach, anything, the one thing they pride them rebounds off of is you as the individual who gets that rebound. They always tell you, hold it with both hands. Hold the rebound with both hands, elbows up. Don't let nobody take the rebound from you. That's what they tell you. But y'all don't know that because y'all make games without using real life knowledge. So, can you please, I said please, reduce the amount of time matter of fact, you should take it out. But I see, it's real life. But even in real life, they don't rip the ball from the individual who gets the rebound. If the individual tries to run with the ball after the rebound, you might get a sneak attack. But the initial rebound, the grab of the rebound, and the getting ready to throw the outlet, they're not getting ripped. They're not getting ripped. So please, can you incorporate that into your game? Number 13, make 3 seconds 3 seconds. I know this is very difficult for you, but it's quite simple. Here, let's try this out. Listen. 1, 2, 3. 3 seconds on the offense. 3 seconds on the offense. 3 seconds on the defense. Now, how come when I look at my screen, when I count and I do that count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 seconds. That's 7 seconds. That's not 3 seconds. Either change the name of the call or change the call to the name. It's that simple. Make it 7 seconds and say 7-second violation, or keep it the name 3 seconds and make it count to 3. And I'll talk your ear off long enough. So the last thing I want you for the wish list for 2K. This all ties into everything. Player creation, player badges. You've tried this meta of having people make their own particular build. You can make your build exactly the way you want to make it. And I applaud you for that, because you do get a lot of different type of playstyles, builds, and archetypes out there. But this final thing is the same way y'all go through this trial year of doing things different. Pie chart trial year, and, now you got this My Player Builder trial year. I would appreciate or like if you guys had us just make a player. Name, position, height, weight, right? Hear me out. We play games. We just continue to play. We continue to play, and our play style determines what our archetype is. I know you have the technology to do it. I don't know how you incorporate it or how you do it, but you have a base player, right? You have a base player. You give him base ratings. So for instance, you make a point guard that's 6'3", you give him base ratings, 80 dribbling, 80 shooting, 65 defense or 70 defense, stuff like that. You give them regular things, right? Same with other positions. And then you let them play through whatever your storyline is. If it's college, if it's the D League, the G League, if it's just straight to the NBA, whatever. You let them play. And as they play, your attributes go up or down depending on what you do on that particular game. If I'm playing a game, a career game, and I'm getting cooked, well, then my defense goes down. If I'm playing a career game and I'm getting my shot right, my 3-point and my mid-range goes up, my shooting goes up. I'm playing this game and I continue to break my defender down, my ball handling goes up. I break my defender down, drive to the basket, my layups go up. I break the defender down, shoot a mid-range or drift, my shot creating goes up. Give it a system where you bring real uniqueness to the game, where now you play through whatever you play through, and then you come out into the game and everybody knows exactly what their player can do. You're not trying to be somebody else. You're not trying to be somebody. It's the harsh reality. Everybody wants to be great. But then because the bad thing is if somebody finds out that you're really only good at rebounding, I'm talking for centers right now, you're only good at rebounding. Like, you're not good at post moves, you're not good at dunking. Or you're good at dunking just off of passes, but you're not good at shooting or post moves. And you just find out that your build might say rebounding or rebounding defender. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You have a role. You'll fit on somebody's team. If you make a shooting guard and you find out that you don't shoot that well, you're more of a slasher. You're a slashing guard. There's nothing wrong with that. You can fit on somebody's team. Might not be mine or elite teams, but somebody will take it. And if you can shoot real well. You can shoot real well, but you can't really dribble. You can't really pass. You don't really try to dunk or playmaker or anything else. You just shoot real well. Wouldn't you like to have a 99-3? Have a 99-3 without nobody else getting there because they shoot you shoot better than them? So yes, you may have, a little lack of defense, but you'll be unique, and it'll make players better, because now when you find out that you have a one-sided player, right? When you find out you have a one-sided player, it's gonna make you get better at the game, because now you want to be great. So you're gonna have to learn how to defend, how to pass, how to dribble, how to play make. how to do those type of things. Just a thought. But this was my wish list. This is my very first type of video like this, and I didn't do it well. No scripts, no nothing. Just straight writing down the ideas on a sheet of paper and going through the list. So bear with me, this video may not have been that good, but future videos and wish lists will be much more professional, much more much more on topic. But for right now, I'm just gonna have to get it how it is. And until next time, it's Chris Jones. It's signing out.